Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
A man was killed during an armed robbery at this store. We'll tell you all about it straight ahead.
Civil Society Bahamas set to meet with the Attorney General tomorrow.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. An armed robbery on 1st Street, Coconut Grove turned deadly last evening when police say gunmen turned their guns on a customer as he entered the store they had just robbed. Jared Higgs has the details.
Now, the owner of the store wasn't actually at the establishment when the armed robbery took place. He says he saw a video of the assailants and he also knows the victim. He says he's a family friend and he was brought to tears when he spoke about him.
It's not nice, you know? It's not nice. You leave a family, 3 kids. I think the oldest one is 12 and the last one is 3. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The owner of Manda's variety store and wholesale snacks, Albert Delhomme, didn't wish to show his face on camera. His 4-year-old family-owned business has been hit by robbers on 2 previous occasions, but Wednesday's deadly armed robbery hit close to home. According to police, 2 armed men entered the business, held the employees at bay, and robbed the store of cash. While fleeing, one of the gunmen shot a man entering the shop at the same time.
They had masks on, you know, and they had hoodies on, so the cashier was there, the parking boy was there. But the guy who got shot is a customer. He was on his way in, and they was on their way out. And while he was coming in, they was walking out. Him, two times. Shoot him right here, and I think somewhere in his chest.
Delhomme and other neighbors say the victim is Mario Cartwright, a resident of 1st Street who friends and family described as a selfless man.
I know him all my life. He just watched over me when my daddy there. He was right there like a next father.
Ronaldo Farrington is Cartwright's nephew. He says his uncle is leaving behind 3 kids and he isn't sure how they will make it.
Senselessness, just leave him. He 3 children, no father, nothing. He renting. Now we don't know what can happen now. Because he's the only sole provider in the whole house.
Police are investigating the deaths of 6 people in the past 10 days. On Tuesday, a man identified as the brother of Marco Archer was killed in the area of Fort Fincastle, with statistics showing murders trending downwards and a reported 14% decrease in armed robberies. The Prime Minister has said Bahamians are no longer fearful of crime, while senior police have insisted that the fear of crime is being significantly reduced. However, Delhomme and Farrington see things from another perspective.
I don't know. It kind of scary, you know. What happened before, it happened before. I was okay, but right now, with 2 guns, 2 guys, and then someone got killed, you know.
Boy, crime done. Crime is happening every day, and I don't see the police. I don't see nobody. So I can't say crime done. I guess they statistics telling them crime done. They need to come out, the real world, and see how it go out, yeah.
Cartwright's killing on Wednesday evening brought the murder count for the year to 85. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
All right, thanks, Jared. Well, managers and supervisors at the Grand Lucayan plan to reject voluntary separation packages offered by Lucayan Renewal Holdings Limited. Union representatives say the resort's new owner offered far less than what those employees are entitled to. Jillian Gray reports.
Unreasonable and inhumane is how President of the Bahamas Hotel Managerial Association, Obie Ferguson, described voluntary separation packages. He made it clear the offer will not be accepted by his members.
I have communicated with my members today in that hotel, and they have given the assurance that they're going to stand firm and receive what they're legally entitled to.
90 managers at the resort have applied for separation packages. Earlier this week, Lucayan Renewal Holdings Chairman Michael Scott said their final offer is fair and reasonable, taking the position that staff members must take it or return to work. However, Ferguson asserted that bullish stance will not be accepted, lamenting the fact that the board's refusal to pay the 90 managers for the full number of years they've worked will significantly reduce their payouts.
If you are entitled to say $20,000. The effect of what he's doing is taking away pretty much $8,000-9,000 from the package. That to me is totally unreasonable, because the 6 weeks that he's taking off from someone who's been employed for 18 years, that works to about roughly 26 weeks.
The union president said he sent a letter to Scott yesterday, again expressing their concerns and questioning how Lucayan Renewal came up with the final figures it is offering. He pressed the board to honor their agreement and included in that letter a full breakdown of what each employee is owed, as well as examples of former VSEP procedures. Ferguson added that the union is not asking for anything unreasonable and said their $4.2 million request is actually a reduced figure.
We reduce it near to $1 million in terms of trying to reach an arrangement, having regard for the state of the economy and everything else. We decided that we would move to show good faith, but for some reason he doesn't want to, and he isn't showing us how he arrived at even the $2 million, the $2.7 million, or the 3.3 million. We have no evidence from him other than a letter, and he says, this is all I have. Well, Hutchinson Wampu was the employer. Maybe they should make Hutchinson pay.
Mindful that other unions are lobbying for pay increases and better benefits from government, Ferguson said they would entertain a payment plan if one is offered. Now, when asked about the matter yesterday, the Deputy Prime Minister said he expects those payouts to be complete by Christmas. Reporting for our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
All right, thanks, Jillian. Well, days after Attorney General Carl Bethlen announced the government would be pumping the brakes on the passage of the Nonprofit Organizations Bill 2018, members of civil society Bahamas are set to meet with the AG tomorrow. The meeting is in keeping with government's plans for extended consultation in the wake of scathing criticism from nonprofits and the religious community. Jasmine Brown reports.
CSB Secretary Mark Palmer says while the time is limited, their organization is working around the clock to ensure the suggested changes to the bill are outlined to the government during tomorrow's meeting.
I think, a week's never really enough time, but we have to be realistic. We did meet with the AG earlier in the week, and was it last week? And we expressed our concerns with the bill, and as a result, on Monday, he decided to shelve it and look at it again.
In the Senate on Monday, the AG announced that the debate and passage of the NPO 2018 bill would be delayed for a week and admitted there needs to be further consultation with stakeholders. His announcement came the morning after Civil Society Bahamas released a press statement calling on the government to amend the Nonprofit Organizations Bill 2018. Palmer says the extension is much needed, but not long enough.
Luckily, because we've been quite well organized, we had a lot of organizations inputting into this. We had over, 40 organizations that put their input in just in the last week on the issues of the bill. So we were able to get some really good stuff to the AG.
Parliament passed the bill as part of a compendium of financial services bills last week. The bill seeks to regulate nonprofit organizations and mandates that each organization register with the government and provide, among other things, evidence of its gross annual income, the identities of its members, and evidence of know your customer due diligence. The bill also mandates that each NPO report donations of $50,000 or more, as well as its 10 largest donations. Today, they reiterated their apprehension, saying there are still a number of areas which raise significant concerns for the further health of civil society.
Nobody should get everything they want, so we understand that. We also understand there's limits of time, and where we are, frustrated with wanting to have to respond so quickly. What was great is that Civil Society Bahamas has done so much substantial work to be prepared, so we can draw from a body of work that's been widely consulted.
CSB has argued that the bill in its current form could potentially decimate civil society, as they believe the vast majority of nonprofits will not be able to comply with the strict registration, accounting, and record-keeping demands of the bill. CSB Vice President Dr. Anthony Hamilton.
In light of the fact that the government has some deadlines to deal with, the reality is, when the final decision is made, how is the citizenry of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas going to be impacted as a result of the decision taken?
Following consultation this week, Bethel says the NPO bill is expected to be debated and passed in the Senate next week. Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Royal Caribbean Cruise Line is looking to hire 200 Bahamians, according to President and CEO Michael Bailey, who says the company is looking to fill positions at its upcoming Coco Key destination, as well as on board one of their cruise ships.
We committed last year to the government that we would hire 200 people a year for our shipboard positions, and today we've just passed the 200 mark, which is great because it's the end of the year. Today I think we recruited about 25 people, I believe. And so we're very excited about that. And we're also hiring for additional positions at Coco Key, where we're hiring an additional, I think, 125 people, and the process is already in place.
According to Bailey, the first phase of Coco Key will be done and ready for opening in May. Royal Caribbean expects to turn it into a prime destination for Royal Caribbean guests. Interested applicants can contact the National Training Agency along Gladstone Road. And while seeking to be a bit more community-minded, Royal Caribbean will also invest in a community center for the Berry Islands just off Andros.
You had a tremendous job that you're doing and you're going to continue to do, especially to Coco Key and employing so much of our Bahamian people and giving them the opportunity to elevate themselves.
You know, here at the National Training Agency, we focus on workforce development. And so we are excited about this relationship with RCCL. It has demonstrated to produce consistent results. They have been committed to eliminating all barriers to employment and opportunities on their ship and on Coco Key. And so we're excited about the future.
Still to come, mailboat operators want a 20% tariff increase, plus West Bay Street roadworks stopped. Stay tuned.